Good evening, everybody. This is Victor Kilo 4, Golf Romeo Bravo, Gary in Faryiryland. It's just gone 19:30 hours, 7:30 p.m. And this will be this week's Bad Net, Wednesday night. And just had to mute a item. I was hearing a bit of an echo in the background. Okay, this is Victor Kilo 4, Golf Romeo Bravo. It's Wednesday night. It's just gone 7:30. It's for another edition of VK4BAD Bad Net, the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club's Wednesday night net. Your host tonight is yours truly, VK4 Golf Romeo Bravo. I'll now change to my to the club call sign of VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club. This is the Victor Kilo 4 Bravo Alpha Delta. The outside temperature at the moment is 22.7 degrees, 81% humidity, 0 wind speed. Had a beautiful storm come through here a couple of hours ago. Wind speed was nice. It was a freight train. That's what it sounded like. Nice light and sound show, and probably around about 25 odd mil in about half an hour. So that wasn't a bad sort of a storm. I have seen worse here. Okay, this is Victor Kilo 4 Bravo Alpha Delta for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club. And now listening for any call-ins. Go ahead, VK4BAD.
VK4 Yankee Charlie. VK4 Charlie Echo Golf.
Okay, I've got VK4 Yankee Charlie Jim in Blackbutt and VK4 Charlie Echo Golf Graham in Jandowie. Anyone else want to call in? VK4BAD listening?
VK4IJP.
Okay, VK4IJP, Ian in Proston. Bit of a slow sort of a start today, but good to hear you're all in there. I'm running a different camera, a true-to-life camera for this episode. As you can see, you could actually read what my cup says. The proper way around. That's for the guys who are watching it live. Okay, we've got Victor Kilo 4 Yankee Charlie Jim, VK4 Charlie Echo Golf Graham, and VK4 IJP Ian. Is there anyone else want to call in before we start the first round? VK4 BAD? Silence is golden. Yeah, okay. As I said there before at the intro, we had a beautiful storm come through here, nice and bit of lightning and thunder and horizontal rain in stages. I haven't checked the rain gauge. I'll find that out in the morning. But I'd say it's around about 25 mil. If it, as I said, horizontal rain, so who knows? It might not have got in there. High. Anyway, as it goes at the present time, we've got VK4 Yankee Charlie Jim, VK4C Charlie Echo Golf Graham, and VK4 IJP. Over to you there, Jim. Did you catch any of that storm there, VK4BAD?
Yeah, negative there, Gary. We're looking quite patiently on the radar there this afternoon, and the one that we thought we might get just went a little bit south of us. So, yeah, but anyway, we've been pretty lucky with the falls that we have had there, Gary. Haven't totaled it up for the month, but that's not too far away. Yeah, the place is looking terrific at the moment there, for sure. But anyway, evening to Graham there, and Ian as well. But yeah, apart from that, the place has just changed probably a couple of weeks from nothing to nearly having to mow the grass there. I'm sure that in a few days we'll be getting the mower out. It's had a pretty good spell up to this stage, I guess, with no rain about. But anyway, I know people have had more than we have, but everybody's thankful for what they get there. Over here there, Graham, VK4CEG, VK4YC. VK4YC with the group VK4CEG. Yeah, okay, thanks, Jim. Well, I drove up today and there was an awful lot of water between, just outside Dalby particularly, between Oakey and Dalby, or Bowenville and Dalby, if you like. The paddocks both sides were really almost still underwater. But I didn't get it at all. The vehicle never got wet. We didn't use the wipers all the way from Brisbane to here today. So that was just lucky, because I had a few things that would have resisted getting wet in the back. Anyhow, thank you for welcoming me, and thank you for running the net, Gary. Now, I've got a question. I think you would have got about an inch, about 25 mils, but the gauge hasn't been emptied recently, so it's all cumulative here. Anyhow, we'll see about that. But I've got a question, Gary. I'm talking to you on a radio, and my radio doesn't have a screen, and you're talking about watching. So have you got a YouTube channel running with a camera, or are you doing amateur TV? You better explain that, because I don't know anything about it, and I'm new to this. Okay, over to you, Ian, at Proston, VK4IJP, with the group VK4CEG.
Hey, g'day Graham, how are you? Gary, and Jim too. moment here. Yeah, heaps of rain. Heaps of rain, and the countryside is looking splendid. Last weekend we went down to near Murwillumbah, just south of Murwillumbah for the weekend, and from here to there, the countryside is just wonderful and green. Whereabouts, a couple of weeks ago, basically a month ago, it was just brown and you could see that things just weren't in a good place. But now, the cows were out there munching away, so it was just really, really good to hear. Really good to hear. Yeah, but other than that, we just watching the grass grow. It rained a little bit last night. I believe approximately 20 mil or something. The grass is getting long. I really just want it to dry out, the ground to dry out a little bit, because our ground is basically clay, and if it ain't dry, the mower will get bogged, or So we're just waiting for it to dry out a little bit. But I'll just tell you what, it is just so nice and green. Hey, Graham, when we come around to you next, you had an antenna on top of your ute, which I think you said you had around for 40 metres. Just wondering, do you know how much the length of the copper wire that you had on that? I've got a telescopical pole that's 4 or 5 metres long. Now, I did quickly just wrap some I think it was 3 millimetre wire around it, and I was able to tune that up quite well, but I couldn't get down. Actually, I think it worked from 15 metres upwards quite well, and 12 metres up quite well. So I was just wondering how much wire you had on that, and I'm toying with the idea of making a three-stage antenna that will go to 80 metres, and having a wandering lead on it for some other bands, and I'm planning that to be about 3 metres long. So I'm in fact going to use a flag, a sand flag or a safety flag, because they screw together. It's in about 1 metre length. So I just thought I could just wrap some plenty copper wire on it and put joiners so I can assemble it and pull it apart. I'd only have it on the car when or use it as an antenna when I'm not mobile, sort of thing. So I could use it as being mobile, but anyway. The other thing, Gary, I only read my emails yesterday, and about Neil that's passed away, so sad news. So unfortunately we're unable to get to the funeral, as we've got other commitments and that, so no good to hear. VK4BAD in the group. This is VK4IJP.
VK4RJP in group, VK4 Golf Romeo, Bravo Alpha Delta. Before we continue on, is there anyone else want to join the net? VK4BAD listening?
VK4VAD, VK4HLR. Good evening, gentlemen. I think I just got out of the shower, actually, when you started, or was in the shower. I understand, I think it's Jim, Graham, and Ian on. I'm not quite sure. I know Ian's voice, so I know he's on. VK4HLR, VK4BAD.
VK4FAX on the side as well. They're running late.
Yeah, VK4ZJE running late also.
Oh, okay. I was just making sure there wasn't anyone else before I keyed up. Okay, so far we've got VK4HLR, VK4FAX, and VK4ZJE. So we've got Russell in Wandai, VK4FAX Don in Drayton, and VK4 Zulu Echo Lima, Bob. I hope I've got the name right. In Toowoomba. I'm pretty sure he's in Toowoomba. VK4 HLR. Hang on, before we start the before we go to Russell to have a bit of a say, is there anyone else want to join the net before we continue on? Okay, nothing else happening at the present time. VK4HLR, you throw it over to VK4FAX. VK4FAX, throw it over to VK4ZJE. VK4HLR, have a go there, Russell. VK4BAD.
VK4HLR returned to the group, FAX and ZJE. Good evening, gentlemen. I think it was Don and Bob. I'm not quite sure. But anyway, no, I was in the shower when you did, so I've been working all day and I had to get some of the dirt off. But anyway, I had my mate showed me the on his mobile phone, he's got these big ones, that Sydney was flooded. The drains just couldn't take the water away, apparently. He showed me a couple of pictures of the water roaring down the roads. So, yeah, well, we didn't get nothing today out here. We got really black over towards Mergen, and we didn't got nothing. Day before, it was Sunday, I said to my neighbour, better cut the grass. So I got the right on out, I cut mine, I cut his. And he said, well, you reckon it's going to rain? I said, tomorrow it's going to rain. And it did, all day long. Good Lord of a, I don't know. He said, how'd you know that? I said, no, I just knew it was going to rain. But at least today's been nice. It's been a bit overcast, but the sun's been out. So it makes it very, very humid. All the moisture being sapped out the ground. But, yeah, there it goes. So with that, I'll pass it on to VK4FAX. Don, good evening to you from VK4HLR.
VK4HLR, VK4FAX returning to the group, and good evening, Jim, Graham, Ian, Russell, and John. That accent just reminds me of a brother-in-law, and we called him Taffy. So, good on you, Russell. Lovely accent. The storm went through here this hour, and it was pretty intense. But I wasn't home when it happened. I was elsewhere, and we didn't get quite as much here as it did down in the other parts of the city. So 5 mils here, and I believe somewhere up around the 25 mils in the central part of Toowoomba. So anyway, it looked pretty ferocious as it's journeyed on over towards the coast. Just an update on the funeral service tomorrow. I've managed to organise my second eldest daughter to loan me a vehicle as I can't use our own vehicle. The wife's got other appointments tomorrow. So it looks like we'll make it out there tomorrow for wife's funeral. So all going well and nothing getting in the way. I'll be out there to catch up with everyone. There was some other things I was going to comment on, but they just don't come to mind at the moment. VK4ZJE with the group, out of the... Yeah, there, John. Back over to you.
Yeah, VK4 Zulu Juliet Echo, VK4BAD. You there, John? Yeah, VK4 Zulu Juliet Echo, VK4BAD. You there, John?
Oh, yeah, Gary, sorry. Yeah, I just got called away. I got a phone call, but the phone's been running hot here tonight. So, yeah, anyway, yeah, I'll say good evening to everybody. Not too sure who's all there. I think Don was there. But anyway, yeah, we had a little bit of a storm in here this afternoon, so I don't know how much rain we got out of it. I didn't go down and have a look in the gauge, but anyway, it looks like it built up a bit. I was talking to the daughter earlier, and there are Marburg and went either side of them, so they were hoping to get a bit of rain out of it to fill up their dams, but yeah, they didn't get much out of it, but at least they've got sufficient rain that it's the water is now starting to run off. So whatever comes down should run into the dams. Yeah, anyway, yeah, I missed a bit of all the conversations there, so yeah, anyway, I don't think there was anybody after me there, Gary, so I'll hand it back to you, VK4BAD, VK4ZJE.
VK4ZJE, VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club. Before we have the club news and all that, is anyone else want to join the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club's Wednesday night net? VK4BAD listening?
Yeah, g'day Gary, VK4 Mike Echo. I'm a bit late, but I made a bit of an appearance there, mate. They're over.
Yeah, okay there, Eric. Have a say, then throw it back to me there, and then we'll have the club news. VK4 Mike Echo, VK in Maidensall, well, VK4 BAD.
Yeah, VK4BAD, VK4 Mike Echo Friday there. Yeah, well, we had a bit of rain. I think we got 15 mil out of the last lot of rain and this lot of rain the last couple of days. I think it's a total of 35 there. We got a bad storm this afternoon. Touch wood, none of me antenna wires out in the paddock come down. Even me 160 metre of wires still up. So I was pretty lucky. Branches down and trees down everywhere. But me antenna survived. I'm a bit of a miracle there, to be quite honest. I expected to see them all down. Considering one of them, the Caroline Wyndham's under a branch of a tree. But anyway, not to worry there. We'll clean up tomorrow. And a lot of wind gusts and a hell of a storm. I left the bathroom window open and all the dirt from the fly screen made a mess everywhere. I had to clean it all down while it was still wet. And the back door, I hosed it down. It was all black with grease and dirt off the fly screen door, window and door. Yeah, it's been that dry. It's the first bit of rain for 8 months or something. So that's about all the news I got this way there. Still having trouble with this computer going. I managed to download one lot I got it out of safe mode. Hi. At least I'm out of there. And it says, well, if you go out of safe mode, you won't get back in. I went, yahoo! I don't want to be in safe mode ever. So there you go. I'm out of safe mode. I got the driver downloaded, and I got my cable for Ross. And I'm on my way. I've just got to find out why I'm not getting an icon for Wires X. But anyway, might go into Yasu and download the software again. Now I've got it all open and out of that stupid safe mode. God, it took me a lot of finding out how to get out of that. But anyway, it's all done now, Gary. Over.
Okay, VK4 Mike Echo Echo, VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta. Before we start the news, is there anyone else want to join the net before we start the halftime news there? VK4BAD? Okay, nothing heard at the moment. Right, what are we going on about? Yes, the biggest one of it all is, yes, VK4 November Fox, Neil. His funeral will be held tomorrow at 11 o'clock at the Anglican Church. And unfortunately, I tried to do a few things to make a bit of time to get over that direction for it, but unfortunately, I've got to put my I won't be able to make it up to it. I assume there'll be well, Don said he'll be going, and I'm pretty sure that Ross will be there, so there will be some of the club members there, but unfortunately I just could not squeeze out of my prior commitments for that day. Okay, our new for the ones who ain't got the internet, who's not on the Facebook club page, I'll bring you up to date with that repeater, the new repeater which is going up, be just north of Mergen. I hope I've got that name right. But yes, it's Mergen, not Mungar. The frequency that it will be on will be 147.025 is RX, 147.025. Transmit TX is 147.165. That's 147.165. Yes, that's correct. Yes, they'll require a 91.5 access tone. Stand by. Okay, VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta returning. It will require a 91.5 access tone, and yeah, I'm don't worry, I'm just trying to think if I've got that frequency for TX correct. No, it's wrong. My mistake. 147.625. That's 147.625 is the transmit TX. requires a 91.5 access tone. I just had to remember the frequency there. My apologies for the wrong frequency to start off with. Echo Link. Echo Link will be up on both of those repeaters due to the 2 metre Mount Kiangrove 2 metres which are on at the present time will be linked to that repeater. It'll give us the coverage all the way up to Bundaberg and out to Harvey Bay with Gympie and Maryborough also in the footpath. Okay, with that lot there, the C4FM is still up and running. It was touch and go there over the last couple of days if it was going to stay operational with all that overcast, but it did pull through. Consideration, my generator did fire up, so I was on generator power for a good day and a half here. Other than that, the Wires X is up and running. Okay, with Graham, VK4 Charlie Echo Golf, Graham. Yes, I do have a YouTube channel. We are going live. We are streaming live. It is Delta India Papa Yankee hyphen Tango Victor. So that's Dippy hyphen TV, all one. Dippy hyphen TV. That is my channel, and you'll find every one of these meetings. Stand by. VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta returning. This repeater does have a 5-minute timeout. Unfortunately, my radio does not. It's set at 3 minutes, so it tells me beforehand. Okay, yes, Graham. Yeah, I've got there's 4 cameras surrounding me at the moment. One is actually looking directly at the ICOM 9100. Which is my main radio, which I utilise. There's one above me. It will show the consoles in front of me and an overhead view of my top of my head. So there's one directly above me in front, and there's one directly in front of me, slightly below that. There. I can do OBs, and our meetings at the club will eventually be live streamed out and so that's. But in thing, yes, I've got a. It will be also for ATV. I utilise it for, I could do phone patching with it, the whole lot. Not a problem at all with this the system I've got in front of me. I use it for my slow scan stuff. I use it for my ATV, and I use it for my live streaming. I do our club, VK4BAD, for the Bunyan Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club. I do their meetings. I also do a English club as well on the Isle of Thanet. I also do a live broadcast for them, and that's also on my channel. There. Okay, there, Ian, Russell, Don, John, and my apologies there, John. I always get your name mixed up. for some unknown reason. Anyway, got you down on the books again now as John, so that's right. and okay on the standby again. Okay, okay getting out of safe. Yeah, you would need administration mode. That would be much better than safe mode. Yes, you could only do the bare minimal stuff in safe mode, but no probs. Okay, with that lot there, that brings me to the end of the midterm gossip. Okay, this is Victor Kilo 4 Bravo Alpha Delta for the Bunya Mountains District Amateur Radio Club. Before we start the last round, does there anyone else want to come in and say hello? Come in and join the round before we start the last round. VK4BAD.
This is VK4GRB, Victor Kilo 4 Juliet Romeo Alpha. Just having to the end of a list, Gary. It's the patchy reception area here.
Okay there, Jake. Yeah, go for it. Have the first go, and then throw it up to Jim, and then Eric. When you're finished, throw it back to Jake, so he actually gets the 2 shots. So he starts at the beginning and the end. VK4 JRA, VK4 BAD.
VK4BAD, VK4JRA. I'm in a patchy reception area here, Gary. I'll be on my better road soon on my way back to Dolby, so spin it round for the last round and just tag me onto the end there, mate.
Understood on that one there, Jake. You're in a patchy area, and Eric will throw it back over to you there. VK4JRA, VK4BAD. VK4 Yankee Charlie, over to you there, Jim.
Yeah, good there, Gary. And hi to Russell and Don and John, Eric and Jake there right at the end, mate. Yeah, we did copy you there briefly. Good to catch up. Mate, I haven't been on with our work here on the farm, but yeah, good to hear you there, but on the way home. Gary, yeah, okay, on everything going on in your place there, sounds like you're pretty darn busy there, keeping things going with what you're doing there. Graham, yeah, good. I don't know whether I spoke to Graham, but good to hear you about anyway. And Ian, yeah, hope you're getting a better rain up that way too. We've had 20 millimetres last night, but we haven't added it up for the month there, so not real sure what we've had in touch. Russell, yeah, you're keeping pretty busy. Don, John, yeah, we missed storms. There was one built up this afternoon, and it just went a little bit south of us. That was, but we've been pretty lucky, so we're happy with what we've got there, mate. That's the main thing. And Eric and Tanner's and so forth there. Yeah, make sure you unplug everything, I suppose. That's the main thing, eh? When you've got these pretty savage ones about. Yeah, try and keep on top of things so you don't get some damage there.
Thanks for running the net there, Gary. I'll pass it on. VK4CEG, VK4YC. Over to you there, Graham. VK4YC with the group VK4CEG. Thank you, Jim. Yeah, fair bit there. First of all, thanks, Gary, for explaining about the video. That's quite interesting. In Brisbane Radio Club, we have a Zoom meeting every week, and the Zoom meeting is actually recorded pretty well automatically by the Zoom system. And for example, the secretary sometimes looks at that to write minutes when he misses things. It's just an interesting way of we do it, and you do it differently. That's an interesting way. And thanks for the information on the repeater, Gary. I've noted all that. I don't know if I'd ever get to use it, but I made a note of it all because it's interesting. What else? Oh, yeah, the antenna. The antenna that I've got is just used for portable. It's around about 5 metres long. It's an ordinary squid. It might only be 4 metres long because I took out the top one, I believe. So anyhow, it's pretty long, and you've got to pick it up and put it up when you're stationary, and then clip something on to make it work. And I did start off with a fair bit more than a quarter wave, and from the research they say a half wave. But anyhow, I've got a lot of wire on there. I don't know exactly how much because about 3 times it wouldn't come down in frequency far enough. Putting it on an analyzer as I wound it, I'd wind on all the wire I had, which would have been around about more quarter wavelength, but not quite a half wavelength. And that was, I wound all that on and then measured it, and it wasn't anywhere near low enough. So then I added another few metres and then another few metres, and I would say I've got half a wavelength of wire on there now. Very, very fine at the top while they're touching. And the problem there is I should have used finer wire for the top because that's a high voltage point and low current. So you don't need thick wire, and you'd fit more on up high. And then the turns get broader and broader as it comes down. It does seem to work okay. It's fairly noisy, but verticals are often noisy, so I think that explains it. Anyhow, so I get it onto 40 metres, and it seems to work reasonably well. Which explains on the weekend I hope to get out to some of the silos around here, and the Brisbane Radio Club has done a few silos activations, and I think we might be the only people in Queensland who've done that. But it's silos on the air. It's a bit like pups on the air, and so I said, well, I'll do a couple when I'm out here. So if anyone is listening on the weekend, I might even let you know where I am on the repeater first. But typically they go on 7090 or maybe 7144, the same frequencies as used for parks on the air. And for silos, you only need a handful of contacts, and the silo is considered activated. And some people are very keen. They go out in the morning and get their contacts before 10 o'clock when UTC rolls over, and then the same contacts after. That might be cheating. And yeah, it rained a fair bit here as well, so the grass will need cutting shortly, I reckon. Okay, thanks for running the net, Gary, and thank you everyone for making me welcome. VK4IJP with the group VK4CEG.
Okay, Graham, thank you for that, the information about the antenna. I'm going to play around with that probably Tuesday, Wednesday next week. Hopefully I'll get the lawn mowed before then. And yeah, I just want to be able to put an aerial on the car for when I'm stationary. Pretty well much the same as you. I used to have other aerials down to 80 metres, so I'm hoping I can at least achieve 80 metres and then use a wandering lead to be able to get some of the higher frequencies. Then I just want to use a separate aerial for 10 metres and another aerial for 6 metres. So, and all of them will be sort of removable from the car. So I only will use them when I'm parked. So yeah, so that's what I'm looking at doing. Okay, then. Yeah, it's all very good. Yeah, it sounds interesting about the activation of silos. So you just park next door to the silo and make some contacts, do you? Hey, that's gee, the number of silos I've stopped at. I should be doing that. Anyway, over to Russell, and about our rain here. Yeah, we've just had heaps of rain. Nothing today, but as I was coming back from Mergen, it looked like we were going to get some rain. I could see it in the west, but it never eventuated. So I'm happy with what we've had. I think most people are. Over to Russell, VK4HLR and the BADNet group. This is VK4IJP.
VK4GRB is VK4HR return, yeah. No, that sounds interesting, but there's no silos around here, I don't think. There's more on the way to Derby, I suppose. But no, actually, like you said there, Ian, I looked out over Mergen only about 3 hours ago, I'd say, and it was pitch black over there, and I thought, oh, we're going to cop this. I went out about half hour later, and it was all gone. We didn't get none of it. So, yeah, I don't know. I bet the weather people are blaming it on El Mingo again. But, yeah, I can't see them being right so far. I think I could do a better job than that, but there you go. That's what they get paid for. But so I don't know. It's just one of those things, I suppose. It's, I mean, it's not our wet season. Usually this time of year now it's extremely hot. And there's no green grass in the garden. It's all brown. But out there now, it looks like I'll have to get the mower out again the weekend. Get it right on out and cut the grass again. Because it's, you sit there and watch it growing centimetre by centimetre, mate. So, well, millimetre by millimetre. But, yeah, no, that's... I wish you all the best with that antenna there, Ian. But, yeah, it sounds interesting. But, you know me, I'm a bit too old to play around with things like that now. I wouldn't have the patience anyway. So, there you go. Oh, I see now I got a VK4FAX, yes, Don. A VK4HLR. We'll put over to you, Don, VK4HS, and the group.
VK4HLR, VK4FAX, thanks everyone for being there. I'm, just getting a phone call coming through. So, all good. I'll try and catch up with most people tomorrow. Here's Jake there. Safe travels home there, Jake. Hope to catch up with you tomorrow and have a little bit of a chat and talk about a few things that are in the pipeline. I'll put it over to VK4ZJE if you're still there, John. VK4FAX, and good night all.
Yeah, VK4ZJE, VK4BAD. One more call for John, VK4ZJE, VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta. Okay, John might have doing something else. VK4 Mike Echo Echo. Over to you, Eric, and you throw it over to Jake. JRA. There over. VK4 Mike Echo Echo. Take it away.
Yeah, roger there, Gary there. Yeah, nothing much else there, and yeah, I knew what I wanted to do, Gary, to get out of that S-Buddy mode, but it was a matter of finding how to do it. And anyway, I finally found out to block that microwave store. That was the whole problem. It's in S mode when that's on, so I got rid of it. And bingo, administration come up my Eric Stanley Everett, and away I went there. So tomorrow morning, I've had a big day on it today, so tomorrow morning I will slip into Yaesu and download the firmware again, the software, and I'll be up and running. I already got the driver loaded. So I just want to spell from it now, Gary, and then she'll be up and running there, mate, so I'll be happy about that. Just a matter of sorting this Windows 11 out. It's so different. Linux and all the rest of it, they got it all mixed up. But anyway, that's Microsoft, isn't it? Oh, dear. Anyway, I just get used to 11, and I've still got Windows 10 on the desk, and I've still got Apple on the iPad. So between the three systems, I got the other two down the pat, so I just got to get used to this 11, which I won't be worried too much about. It be on wires permanent anyway, so it won't matter. That's where it sits up on top alongside the screen on VHF. Yeah, so apart from that, Russell, I got a heap of storms here today. I don't know, 4 or 5 o'clock or something like that. Blue trees down and limbs and rain and hail, and went on for about 10 minutes. Anyway, away it went, so it's gone. And I see in the gates 35 mil for all day in that hailstorm, so that's about it from me. And I'll catch you all a bit later on there. Look after yourselves there. And I'll see you around the ridges maybe for a cup of tea tomorrow at Smoko there, Ian and Russell and Gary. VK4JRA, VK4 Mike Echo Echo. Take it away, Jake. That's my finals, and I'll catch you later. Hooroo, boys.
Yeah, thanks, Eric. VK4MEE, VK4JRA returning. Hopefully you're getting me a bit better this time, guys. So I'm just mobile at the moment, travelling on the Oakey bypass back towards Dalby. So I've been away at TAFE, studying to become communications technician. So got the day off tomorrow for Neil's funeral. So travel back tonight and come back down sometime tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow night to Brisbane. So yeah, it'll we'll chat with a few people, no doubt, tomorrow morning. So yeah, that's about all I've got to report. I've missed most of the net. It's pretty patchy. This repeater's pretty patchy on the Toowoomba bypass. So hope everyone else is going all right. And yeah, I think I'll keep it short and sweet at that. So I just pop in and say good day. Because yeah, I've been away a fair few weeks now. It'll be good to be home at the end of next week for a fair while. So all right, throw it back to Harry. Hopefully you got me over all right. VK4BAD, VK4JRA in the group.
VK4JRA, VK4BAD. No worries there, Jake. Come through. There was a couple of little dropouts, but nothing to really worry about. We got everything you're saying. Yeah, okay, Graham. Before I close off the net. Yeah, I got between Friday and today, I got 63.5 mil between Friday and today. As I said, I haven't checked the rain gauge there for this lot what we just had, so I'd say it's around about 25 mil. Yeah, okay. Also, this repeater, if everything's going to go right, we'll also have a 70 centimetre repeater also linked up to in Toowoomba, or just out of Toowoomba. There. And if I'm not, Jake could come back and inform me, but I'm pretty sure that one there is connected to Ipswich. But I'm iffy on that one. Anyway, does there anyone else want to come in and say hello, goodbye before we close the net off? VK4BAD, listening?
73's Gary. Hello, everybody. VK4, Mike Echo Echo, clear.
V4HLR, clear. Just one, Gary. Thank you.
Yeah, Gary, that repeater, 70 centimetre one is VK4RTQ, Romeo Tango, Quebec. One of Andrew's repeaters on Mount Kynoff in Toowoomba. Currently standalone. They run the 70 centimetre net on it on Monday night.
Oh, okay there, Jake. Yeah. I wasn't too sure which 70 centimetre, because they got one there which is linked down to Ipswich, and I wasn't too sure. Okay, so it's standalone. No problems on that one. Okay, with that lot there, does there anyone else want to come in and say hello, goodbye before I close the net off? VK4BAD. Okay, nothing else heard. This is Victor Kilo 4 Bravo Alpha Delta for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club. I would like to thank all who attended tonight. It was a good turnout. We had VK4 Yankee Charlie Jim in Blackbutt, VK4 Charlie Echo Golf Graham in Jandowie, VK4 IJP Ian in Proston, VK4 HLR Russell in Wandai, VK4 FAX Don in Drayton, VK4 Zulu Juliet Echo John in Toowoomba, VK4 Mike Echo Echo Eric in Maidenswell, and VK4 JRA Mobile back to Dalby. I'd like to thank you all for coming in, and my apologies. As I said, I will not be able to make it to Neil's funeral. I tried to get out of some of the commitments I've got, but unfortunately I couldn't. With that lot there, this is Victor Kilo 4 Bravo Alpha Delta for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club. Until next week, we'll say 7 threes, and I'll now resort back to my home call of VK4 Golf Romeo Bravo, Gary in Faryiryland. And I'll now leave the frequency open for general traffic. Until the same time next week, next Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m, 19:30 hours, we'll catch you then. This is Victor Kilo 4 Bravo Alpha Delta. 7-3, take care.